Hey everybody, I'm back! And my project for the last month was all about this studio. I mean, there's nothing wrong with my studio. I'm very satisfied with how it is. However, due to the nature of this room, the studio has grown organically to what it is right now. And organic growth is good, but it also means that some things get a little bit messy. And apart from that, I never designed the studio to be a backdrop for videos, which it has become. So what I want to do is change the studio to a new setup. And the idea is to make it look something like this. So in order to get there, we have to get started with removing everything from the room. Let's first get the gear out of here and then work from there. I think that's a good idea. So, White Sea's dream studio, build, video, vlog, whatever, let's get started. So current status.
Lekker man.
Kind of painful. So it's kind of interesting that it took me 7 years to build my studio and that I'm now standing in an empty room. It took 5 hours to break everything down. And on one hand it's very exciting. I mean, the plans are very interesting. On the other hand, it's very scary because everything is gone. Alright, so it's day 2 today. 2 things that I really need to do today. So I'm going to need to remove all the panels. So all the panels from this wall for several reasons. First of all is because it's going to be cut off a little bit over there because of the new wall that we are building. Also, that wall is going to be covered in drywall, plasterboard. I don't know how it's called. Maybe I'm just doing American and English now. It's going to be covered in drywall, 3 layers thick, because that wall is still resonating a little bit. And that gives issues because there's a producer on the other side and he can hear my, well, not sub-bass frequencies, but also a little bit higher frequencies. And I can also hear him. That's going to happen tomorrow. But I want to be prepared. So yeah, that is what. So that's the plan for today. Remove that so that we can put the plaster on there because it's also. I'm rambling really. You know what is weird? I'm seeing the edit in my head and I'm thinking like, hey, this is going really quick, but I have to do it in real time. We are adding 4 extra layers of drywall to the already existing 2 layers, and this mainly lowers the resonance frequency of this wall. Or in other words, it now isolates way better. What we're also doing for sound insulation is thickening up the floor a little bit, and we're doing that by using thick sheets of rubber and 2 layers of underlayment. So a lot of things have changed already, as you might have seen on the time lapse. Not sure if I'm keeping that in the edit, but we're going towards a more interesting part of the build now. Together with Lennart. You might recognize Lennart from a previous video. And he is going to install the speakers, the new speakers. And he's beaming me with laser. I have to watch out that it's not going in the camera because it will fry the sensor. Today we're going to measure how we are going to place the speakers, like in which angle and where they are going to be. Because we need to know that for the rest of the build, because the rest will all be attached, kind of, or will be dependent on how it will be placed. So yeah, I'm going to put away my camera now because the laser is really scary and this camera is really expensive. So. what we did basically the whole day is measure. Because these speakers are going to be built into a solid wall, you want to get the measurements right. And we measured with lasers, we measured by listening, and we now have the definitive setup as it should be. This is not going to be the setup or the materials that we're using, except for the speakers. They're final.
Yeah,
they're pretty final. So we're going to remove everything again now. First we're going to draw out where everything is on the floor, and then we're going to build the final setup. But this is like a kind of an annoying step in between. You have to make sure that everything is at the correct position. Problem is that if I now play back music, I just want to stay and listen, and it's very addicting and that kind of stuff. But we really have to move on now. New day, and today it's all about well, measuring again, but this time we're drawing. The basic idea is to get the framework speaker baffle, get it done. So Leonard is now going to work on like drawing on the floor the first measurements where everything needs to be. In the meantime, me and Mauro are going to organize a little bit in the rest of, well, not my studio. And I think that the rest of the people that work here will respect that I'm doing this, because it's a big mess over here. Like there's a lot of stuff, gear, like over here. Yeah, that's the plan for now. Alright, so we're done. This might not look like a lot, but it's our podium. This is a very precisely measured frame, which we're going to put some racks on. The racks are over there. If we pan over there, we're going to put those racks on there. And those are going to, of course, have the speakers in there. It's going to be a completely closed wall, which you might know by now. Yeah, that's all the progress for this week actually. I started on Saturday, last Saturday, that's the last day of July. We started on Saturday with removing all the stuff, just so you guys get a time frame. And I've been non-stop working, like the only thing that I did was work and sleep from that moment until now. It's now Thursday, so this is the progress we did in 6 days. Yeah, in 6 days, 5 days, 6 days. I don't remember the dates anymore. But this is all the progress we did. I'm very happy with the progress, although it might not look like a lot. But if you know how much work it is, it's actually a lot. And I'm taking a little bit of a break for Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so that I can recharge again. The thing with these builds is like, because most of this wall needs to be built very precisely. And if you do that while being tired, it's way quicker and way more efficient to do it while fully rested. So I'm going to take a long weekend, long break. I really need it actually. I'm a bit surprised at how tired I was. Most of all after Tuesday, after we laid down the floor. I'm very happy with the progress. I'm very happy with the sound of the speakers, because now I've heard how the speakers are going to sound, and it's super addictive. I just can't wait until it's done. But yeah, it's still a long way to go. And luckily, we still have the whole month. So yeah, let's cut to Monday. I hope that by the end of the day we have a finished, no, not finished wall, but we have a wall, like a structurally sound wall, because things are taking longer than expected. Yeah, that's just what I hope to do. The racks are on there. You need to straighten them up a little bit because they're a little bit wobbly. That's no problem. And then yeah, I hope that we have at least a structure for the wall done today, so that Leonard can go home and fix the speakers, or not fix it, but build the rest of the speakers, the subs and all that stuff. And then I can focus on the side wall and like all the other stuff that needs to be done. Good morning. So precision is really important for this build.
And that is mainly because the speaker is going to be built into the wall, which you cannot adjust afterwards as you could with a freestanding speaker. So it's really measure, 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 build, measure again, and if we had a millimeter of difference, we did it again. And this also helped us towards the end of the build because everything fitted together super nice.
Another day, we're halfway through the day and I'm really happy with the progress. I will show it to you. Because what we have, while walking backwards, this is funny, we have a server room right now. Or, you know, you could use it as a server room, but I'm not gonna. So, Krijn is behind the camera, making fancy shots. The only thing is the subject, me, can't do fancy shots. So this is it. Again, you could use it as a server room, but of course we're going to mount speakers in here. Cool thing is, my high, mid-low speaker is going to be mounted here. And the subwoofers are going to be over here. Like this is going to be subwoofer. And this as well. So we've got enough sub. And right now we are doing, we're making the shelf. Which I have no idea why it needs to be in there, but Leonard said it had to be in there, so we're doing it, because if Leonard says it, you're doing it. And we're filling it up with, of course, famous, well, it's not rock wool, it's knauf wool, or what is it, Acoustic. And that's of course to make sure that nothing is honking, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm looking at Krijn for the correct word.
Resonating.
Resonating. You want to have it filled, of course. You want to. Do I need to explain everything? So that's what we're doing right now. Yeah. Well, we're also making sure of. You can't really see it right now, but we're also spanning this cloth everywhere so that the stuff from the rock wool isn't bleeding into the room and getting into our lungs and that kind of stuff. We don't want that. So we're really capsulating everything to make sure that, well, right now not. Now we're breathing it in. But in the long term, it should stay where it is.
The wall, or better said, absorber that used to be at the back of my studio is now at the left side. And because we want to have it the same on both sides, I'm building an extra wall on the right side to have the same amount of absorption over there as well.
Alright, so progress report. You can see, and as you have seen in the time lapse, we now have an extra wall, an extra absorber over there. It's a whole wall. We got everything filled with rock wool. We do have a little bit of problems with the anti-rooting membranes that we're using for the walls to keep the rock wool in and the dust out of the room. So we're waiting for that. So we're keeping that wall open for now because we're waiting for the material. It's still like a lot of supply problems because of COVID. So we're waiting for that. In the meantime, we're going to do the ceiling. It's a suspended ceiling and a lot of people have told me that it's very difficult to do. So it's very difficult. I've never done it before. So I think I'm going to succeed. And that's of course, as we know, the Pippi method.
So, Krijn.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Oh my god. Well, make a solution for the laser to make the ceiling. And the laser will be over there. And everything will be aligned to the laser. So the laser needs to be in a fixed position.
And we also have to prevent it from falling down.
Oh. Oh.
Building a ceiling is very heavy, and that's mainly because you have to constantly work above your head. It's very heavy work. Oh, and it's also really difficult.
Right, it's the most exciting day of the build today. It's the moment that I have been working towards. Let me first quickly update you on the suspended ceiling, where we left off. This is the suspended ceiling. It's now in there, and I'm never doing it again. No, it's not my cup of tea. But the moment we've all been waiting for. Speaker installation. Subwoofer installation. The first time we're seeing the subwoofer in here. So yeah, we have to lift it up a little bit more, screw it in. And we'll put another one over there, of course. Yeah, let's do it.
The subwoofers were really heavy. That's also the reason why we're using a special lift to put them in there, because they were so heavy. And it's also a very difficult place to maneuver into, so I was really happy with that small lift in there.
Alright, so we have the speakers installed, but we do have a major problem right now. It's something that I didn't expect